So let's talk about this. This is our workout for the week. We've done the upper and lower so far. Today we're doing our second upper body day. We're doing barbell overhead press with pull-ups. I'm not swapping the order. I'm doing overhead press first. I'm not supersetting them. We'll do single arm bent over row with one dumbbell, and then going to do some kind of bis and tris. I want to do some different stuff today, so I'll probably do like maybe an easy curl bar, and then like maybe close grip push-ups, or like diamond push-ups. See how that, I haven't done those in a while. So, and then as always, we are skipping core. So that's today. This will probably be out of sight most of the time, or at least you won't be able to read it. I'm trying, like I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to make it so I don't have to move the camera all around and scrape the tote because I know it's loud. And so I have the tripod set up here to kind of get more of a wide shot. So hopefully it's okay. Feedback would be appreciated. Also, I was thinking about, I mentioned this I think last week, about doing like workouts based on classes, and I was thinking about doing one like today, like a little lecture like I like doing at the end of a stream, to where we kind of mentally brainstorm what, you know, a workout program for like a fighter or barbarian would look like. And so if that's something that you're interested in, let me know and we can kind of mind map something together. But today we're feeling pretty good. I think this is the first workout in like 2 weeks where I'm actually feeling good energy. Slept in today, had a little bit of caffeine throughout the day, had dinner early. Normally I eat dinner after my stream, but today I had it a few hours before the stream, and so I'm feeling like my energy levels are good, so we can maybe hit some moderately heavy weight on here. We're doing barbell overhead press to start, and like always, like Bird said, these workouts that we're doing are in here. Oh, let me pull them up. We're doing level 8, week 2, day 3, upper body, and it's pretty much as written, except the only thing is instead of dumbbell shoulder press, I'm doing barbell, and I'm doing them first instead of assisted pull-ups. So I will be doing assisted pull-ups. I might try the first set without assistance to see how many I can do. So that will be a struggle. But if you want this book, ebook, completely free, 330 pages of pure girthiness, it is in the Discord, which Bird has put in the chat. And like always, I don't know if you can actually pin something. I think I can go to Stream Manager and pin it, but I don't want to do that. I think Bird, as a mod, you should be able to pin it, but you're at least able to post it. So, yes, if you want this, it's in the Discord. So we're gonna do a warm up. Like always, we will warm up with empty bar stuff. For those of us who have tight shoulders, can afford to do more stuff. Like I'll sometimes do some arm circles. Arm circles are cool, just in general, but they're good. You know, you start off small and then gradually kind of think of your arms as like spirals. So where they gradually get bigger and bigger and bigger. What's that spiral, like the Nautilus? And then you do the same thing backwards. So start off small, gradually get bigger and bigger. Oh, you're already gonna feel it. Feeling good. Oh, the Discord's pinned? Nice. Cool. I wanted to say this about as I'm warming up about the shoulders. I had a client yesterday, 2 days ago, telling me, he's like, man, I feel like I'm getting weaker because my shoulder press he added a third set to his exercises, or to his whole workout, and his like third set shoulders kill me. It's like I can't do it, I just feel super weak. And the reason why is because your shoulders are respectively very small muscles with a very long lever. And so they're very quick to fatigue. And you know, if you're doing a shoulder press, probably by like rep 7, you feel like your arms are gonna fall off. And then, you know, you finish out last 3 reps. And then after like 30 seconds, you're like, I can go again. It's because they're very quick to fatigue, but they're also pretty quick to recover. So yeah, perfect. Warm up. We're hitting heavy weights today. 9, 10. I'm probably gonna do like 3 by 5 today because I want to hit heavy weights. So I got my hat. Raise hell, praise Dale. It's funny because Bird's last name is Dale, so praise her, which I always do. All right. I'm gonna throw a 25-pound plate on, and that'll be part of a warm-up, I think. Actually, I think last week, I'll have to check. Give me a second. Last week, we didn't even make it to 95, did we? No, we only did 85, so. We're gonna warm up with 95 when our working set last week was just 85. So, let's see how that goes. Are we biting off more than we can chew? That felt good. I did 3 by 10 last week, so that would explain it. Yeah, I did 3 by 10, so that makes sense. That felt pretty good. So, lightweight, baby, exactly. Oh. Doing 25 and 10. Some of you eagle eyes will probably notice that I do have 35-pound plates right there. So you're asking yourself why you're doing this. The answer is I'm lazy. Because ideally I'm moving on to 135 after this. Felt good. It looked good. Felt pretty good. That's not too loud for you guys, I hope. It's the gold chain that's making me feel stronger today. The message pickles. That's alright. You know, it's alright. Give me a second. This might be my second working set. That last one felt decent. We're here every day, at least Monday through Thursday, same time. So if you're able to make it, cool. If not, cool too. So I upload the VODs. So I took the lecture that we did Monday. and I splice that up into a separate video as well. So if you like that type of content, let me know. Like I said, I've said this before, I really enjoy like teaching and educating. And so if that's the type of content that you like, that resonates with you, let me know, because we can make more long form dedicated content for that. All right, gold chain, don't fail me now. Cool. I look good, felt good. So the reason why I don't go down all the way to my chest or my collarbone, and I kind of stop at my mouth roughly, is because I don't want to put a whole lot of stress on my shoulders. And so coming down here puts a lot of extra stress on your shoulder joint. And so stopping with your elbow roughly in line with your shoulder really helps with that. Also, thanks for the follow. I think, was that Jen? I don't know if that was Jen. It definitely felt good. I'm not going up in weight. I'll take a second though. You could also make this a more of a push press, where you do bring it down and then you push up by doing like an eighth of a squat. You load it into your legs and you push up. If you do that though, you might have to take your gold chain off. I'll keep mine under my shirt. Just like Frodo did with the One Ring. Put this down. I mentioned this yesterday about rest times. I like doing rest time. I like keeping my rest times around a minute or so, but I obviously do it a little bit longer with you guys because we're chatting. But if you're lifting heavyweight, like 5 reps or below, you can do more, a longer rest, like 2 to 3 minutes. If I'm hitting like a heavy strength phase, I will go whatever a song length is to rest. So I'll listen to angry music, hit my set right around when the beat drops, wait that song and possibly another song to rest, and that is my very scientific way. Hey, thanks, we're trying. All right, this is my second set, possibly third. We'll see how this feels. So I might count that 105 as my first working set. Stop squeaking. All right. 1. That felt good. Yeah. Oh, I haven't used these yet. Wheelbarrow of gym equipment. And gym accessories. Yep, check that out. So these shoulder press can put a lot of stress on your wrists, just like bench. And so I have these bad boys. Put them on. Oh, this is backwards. Wrap it around your wrist. And then it velcros. I like to put them up just a little bit. This will really help support your wrist. Then you gotta watch out for your watch, because sometimes that gets in the way. And so I don't really need it for this light of weight, but It doesn't hurt, and it's good education. Yeah. Real person. We don't use chat bots. We don't use chat bots here or on Instagram. If you are chatting on Instagram, you are chatting with a human. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's Bird. She'll jump in and help me. But we don't use chat bots. And then definitely goes for our coaching. We don't use chat bots for that. We use our coaches for that. But yeah, if you're ever chatting with us, it's a real person. That's why sometimes our response time a little bit longer than what a chat bot would be. Shit's cold. Alright, last set. And then hopefully squeakiness will stop. Felt good for strict press. How'd that look? Yeah, that's true. Bird said we have an auto message that comes through. Yeah, my bar doesn't need oil. So if you respond to an ad and you get a message immediately, that's an automated message, but everything after that is a human. Alright, don't worry. The next. Yeah, it's the rack. It wasn't too bad though, was it? Wasn't too squeaky. I think we're done with it though. Oh, no, we're not. We got pull-ups. Forgot about that. Damn. Oops. Plank out of here. Did you not find us from like Instagram or Discord? Did you find us from Twitch Discoverability? That would be nice. How does that look? I'll be up here. Here. Oh, that is cold. That is cold metal. That is very cold metal. I don't know if I can do pull-ups with gloves though. Hey, that's awesome. So, TLDR, we are online health and fitness coaching company that helps empower gamers to reclaim their health, lose weight, and build the confidence to become the main character of their life. And we do that through one-on-one fitness and nutrition coaching. But main goal here is to essentially be a body double or workout buddy and to help educate. Also, Bird might bring this up here in a second, but the workouts are from this book, the 1 Year Beginner's Handbook. And so if you want that, link is in the chat. It's in our Discord server, and it's completely free. The ebook is. Well, so is the server. It's all free. Yes. I want to talk about. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm changing up the way we kind of brand it to, like being a dungeon master who lifts. And so I'm going to try to change like the tags and like the titles and stuff like that for like, this is how Dungeon Master creates a workout program. I wrote that in my notes to tell you guys. I don't know why. All right, pull-ups. How many? Oh. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Now you might be thinking, those are all cheat reps. And you're absolutely right. That's all were. But we're not here to break records, and we're here to get a good workout. So that was that. Actually did better than I expected. Pickle foot! Pickle feet! You like that shirt? How much do I weigh right now? 224 as of this morning. Actually just recently only lost 47.2 pounds. Yeah, I think it's 47.2. 46 or 47.2? 47.2, yeah. Actually, it might be 48.2. I don't know, somewhere around there. Thanks, man. Sure, it is doing work. I don't know if you saw, but I just did overhead press. It felt good. Hell yeah. Actually, what I was saying is, since I've lost nearly 50 pounds, pull-ups are a lot easier for me. Who would have thunk? Also got, this is part of my, these pants are part of my Brock from Pokemon cosplay, and I bought them last year when I was like 265 pounds, and so they're a little big, but I'll pull them up. I'm addressing cosplay tomorrow too. I might be Ash Ketchum, spoiler alert, but yeah, since we're not streaming Halloween, I want to do something. Pull-ups suck, man. Pull-ups suck. Pull-ups are like my kryptonite. Let's find out why. Oh, okay. Gotta put my foot up here. Oh! You see when I do that? Yeah. Okay. I put my little toesies on the bar to help give me a little bit of assistance. It's nice because it's the simplest way to set up for assisted pull-ups rather than having a band and everything like that. So I find it the easiest way to do it. I'm 6 foot even, according to my driver's license. Probably 5'11" 3/4, if we're being honest with ourselves. Whew. I might change up my grip for pull-ups. Hell yeah, 6'4", tall boy. Oh, I talked about this. So I talked about this yesterday, where I had a client who just started tracking his calories, and this client and I have worked together for a while. And we explored tracking calories like last year. Just like a food log, not tracking calories, but like a food log. So something like this, where you just write down what you ate, not necessarily the calories. And it's very resistant to it. We tried it, he didn't like it. And we focused more on like different intuitive style eating practices. And he kind of saw one of my posts and then went through tracking his breakfast and found out that his breakfast alone was over 1,000 calories. So it kind of sparked motivation in him to track his calories. And he told me today that he's like really happy that he's done it, and kind of playing the shoulda coulda woulda game where he wishes he would have started earlier. Obviously everybody kind of feels like that, but I told him, you know, better late than never. Don't feel like you're late to the party or anything like that, because you're showing up when you're ready. And that's what he was saying. He wasn't ready at the time. And this whole journey that he's been on for the last couple of weeks has been like very eye-opening for him. And so it's been good watching him kind of become ready to track calories and stuff. And let that be a PSA that not everybody's, you're not always ready to track calories or do something. But him
doing more intuitive eating practices, just trying to be more mindful of eating. They're all ways to get towards the right goal, but I think tracking is one of the most direct ways to do it. And he agrees now. For the Smith machine, you mean like for assistance? You started off at 120 and now you're down to 30 pounds? How do you use this, the pull-up Smith machine? You mean like the assisted pull-up / dip machine that are at gyms? All right, time for my third set. I'm gonna change out my grip. Remember to raise hell and praise Dale. I'm gonna do neutral. Normally when I do pull-ups, I'll do one overhand or pronated grip, which is regular pull-ups. I'll do one chin up and then one neutral, but I forgot to switch grips last time. So. 8, 9, 10 balls in my face. Oh, that sucked. That really sucked. Do I have a specific? I think Bird's talking to me. Do I have a favorite tracking app? Tongue-in-cheek answer is. Oh, okay. Yes. Tongue-in-cheek answer is our training app, but that's for paying clients. But I like apps that. What up, Cat? I think. I like calorie tracking apps that don't lock the barcode scanner behind a paywall, and I believe that's becoming a fewer and fewer number. I used to use Lose It to track my calories. I had the premium service. It was like $20 for a full year versus my MyFitnessPal, which is $20 for a fucking month. And so I unlocked the premium tier. But I also don't think you need to pay for it to get the barcode scanner. There is a small app that I'm using now. They just came out like a month ago. It's called Megabytes, and think of it as a step counter and calorie tracker meets monster taming, to where it doesn't step on the toes of Pokemon Go, but you have this little they're called Megabytes, but it's kind of like a little Tamagotchi, and you track your steps. You have to hit a daily step count goal. They level up, they evolve after so many levels, just like your typical monster tamers, and you can also track your calories. And so I met with the devs for that particular app. I met with them 3 weeks ago, and really cool guys. They're trying to integrate it into our community, just to kind of get feedback, because like I said, the app just came out like a month ago. And so I'm liking it. They don't lock their barcode scanner, they don't lock their barcode scanner behind any premium, but the app is also fairly bare bones, and so take that for what it's worth. It's called Megabytes. Yeah. MyFitnessPal. I have not heard of Fit Legends. Is that like a live life like an RPG app? I think so, Bird. Mega, BYTES. You can search the App Store. It's on Apple, I know that. But the icon is, it's like bluish purple, and it has like the little, like a side profile of like what you expect a monster's face to look like. I can't show you because I'm streaming on my phone. All right, what's next? Single arm bent over row. Not using the rack, but I'm probably going to be moving you guys. Yeah. That. Oops. I don't want that to go that far. There. All right. How is this better? I'm gonna be right here. Perfect. Yeah, like like I said, I'm trying to put the cameras in a better spot. All right, we're gonna max this bitch out. Which honestly is not a lot, but you know, we work with what God gives us. It's not the size of the weight that counts. You know, it's how long you can last, I guess. Alright. I got toys somewhere. I think they're in there. I have a T-bar row attachment, and then I have a tombstone or a landmine hookup somewhere. They might be in my wheelbarrow fund. Oh no, they're back there. I just haven't taken them out of the package yet. Boom. Yes, that is it. Oh, it is bites, B-I-T-E-S. Okay. Oh, that is cool. And like, are the challenges like workouts? Because you said to read it, it says the fitness track / game challenge app. You can do challenges with other players or other users, and you can fight the bosses in different categories. Nice. All right, single arm row. Did these last week. Nothing new here. Even using the same weight. So, keeping left knee, left hand on the bench, keeping my back straight like it's a table, and going to be pivoting around this planted shoulder. Try not to let your gold chain get in the way. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. Always switch knees. Sometimes people don't do that. Great. Great. Just great. That sounds cool. That does sound very cool. Alright. Oh. Let's take a second to breathe. I also like to alternate what side starts. So I just put the weight down on the side that I finish, knowing that I'm going to start on that side. Cool. So, I saw this post. Actually, I want to talk to you guys about this. I saw this post yesterday, 2 days ago, I think. A buddy of mine sent it to me, and it's like, I mentioned this, I think, yesterday, but it's foods to stay away from if you want a flat stomach, and then it's like, all of your typical processed junk foods, and it was pretty much saying just shop around the perimeter, I think is what they were saying in a very dumbass way, to where the perimeter tends to be your produce, you know, meats and cheeses, and then eggs and dairy, which is good advice, but also you don't need to completely eliminate the more highly processed indulgent snack foods. And so I was thinking today, like what foods I do actually try to stay away from. And I wrote a list. So one thing that I really try to do is make sure I have a decent amount of protein during my first meal. And so I really try to stay away from cereals, not because it's terribly bad, or there's arguably worse things to eat, but it's just because I know I can eat like a whole box of cereal and half a gallon of milk in one sitting and feel fine during it, and then feel like complete dog shit afterward. So I try to stay away from cereals. Heavy sauces like ranch. Ranch is terrible for you. I say that because I hate ranch. It's not terrible for you, it just tastes like shit. I stay away from sugary drinks because I would much rather eat my calories, then drink my calories. So 0-calorie sodas are perfect. I drink, like 1 or 2 a day of those. So I can't stand ranch picklefoot. Yes, thank you, Bird. You bring up a good point. It spikes the blood sugar. So if you eat like a really high carb, low protein meal for breakfast, it's what causes that huge crash towards, that 2:30 feeling. You can get that crash earlier if you just have a high carb, high sugar breakfast with no proteins. And people tend to do the same thing for lunch, and that's why you get that 2:30 feeling, that 5-hour energy is kind of branded. And then just your typical like junk food per se. So like candy and shit like that, I don't really have a problem with. I can stay away from that, no problem. But stuff like chocolate, I really struggle with moderation. And so I try to keep that out of the house. We bought some Oreos for our party that we had over the weekend. And luckily they're in a cabinet out of sight, out of mind, because I will eat those constantly. Same thing goes with like cupcakes and pastries and like regular cake. I could gobble the fuck out of some regular cake. Chips, Doritos. Doritos are like the most perfect engineered food. And so I try to stay away from them. I try to keep those out of the house because moderation is a struggle for me. And so, Pants, see you later. I don't know how to say your name. Pantalones. Thanks for the follow. You have a fantastic night. So yeah, I do try to stay away from the more highly processed foods, but not because they're quote unquote bad for you. Arguably they are on the more unhealthy side of the spectrum. But I also know that adherence or moderation is really a bit of a struggle for me at times. And so I just like not having the temptation there. So yeah, so there are foods that I do personally stay away from, but I'm not saying you need to stay away from them. Because I know some people can't be around like candy, like Nerds and Skittles and stuff like that without just gobbling it down. Where I can pass that every single day and not worry about it. Where other people can walk by your chocolates with no problem, to where I tend to always kind of grab something if it's right there. So yeah, what's next? Oh, single arm rows. We're there. Second set. So I guess that was a very long-winded way of saying know what your limitations are and just try to play to your strengths. So we started off with left, or we started off with right. We're going to start off with left today, or for this set. All right, next set. There, halfway, I guess. Oh, how'd that feel? Gorn's food service? Why would you do that? Pickle, why would you do that to me? Bring a whole tub of massive tub of ranch. I was gonna say bulk, that's what I was gonna say, bulk size. I didn't take a pre-workout because I wanted to be able to sleep. I was taking it last week. I don't think I took it this week. I was taking it last week, and you take a pre-workout at 9 o'clock at night, it affects your sleep a little bit. So I decided not to take it this week. We'll see how we feel tomorrow. Tomorrow we're deadlifting, so that should be fun. What pre-workout do I use? Fantastic question. So I can pour it all over, yeah. Yes, it gives my face tingles. Yeah, so I have a buddy, Trey. He started a supplement company. He has a coaching company, and he's starting a supplement company called Mystical Transcendence. And it is a pre-workout that does give you that tingly feeling that tingly feeling is because of beta alanine. So if you're looking for a pre-workout that doesn't make you feel like a crackhead and want to scratch your face off, look for something that doesn't have beta alanine specifically in it. And it has like 250 milligrams of caffeine, so it's like a decent kick, but it's not like you're gonna have a heart attack. But taking 250 milligrams of caffeine at 9 o'clock at night, where caffeine has a half-life of 6 hours, there's smarter options out there, which is totally my fault. I asked for a stimulant pre-workout. He has non-stims in there, but I like having the pump. I like feeling like I'm about to, go into a meth rage. And I like feeling like there's shit crawling all over my face. As weird as that sounds. But when you're in the moment, lifting heavy weights, you want that feeling. Because I guess pain is pleasure in that respect. So that's that. Also, I noticed this camera. Well, I use 2 different cameras. I don't know if you guys know that. One for the stream, one for the VOD. Alright. Last set, and then we got curls. Oh. Always make sure weights aren't falling apart. Make sure your pants aren't falling off. Don't want to get kicked out of the gym. Oh, that's good. That was good. That felt good. I don't know how it looked. It felt good. How'd that look? Yeah, probiotic gummies are generally garbage. Most probiotics that come in like a capsule or like a gummy form tend to be dog shit. And I'll explain why in a second. Yeah. Because probiotics, a lot of times when they come in like a pill capsule or something that sits on a shelf that doesn't have to be refrigerated, a lot of times when they come in that form, they are dead, the bacteria itself. Because probiotic is a bacteria that ideally you put into your gut to help change your gut microbiome, to break down more triggering foods or inflammatory foods better. I'm not a gut specialist, so I could be a little wrong there, but generally speaking, you want some kind of bacteria, good bacteria, to get into your gut, to change the environment of your gut, to break down foods better, to cause less GI distress, normally in the form of like painful bloating. Again, overgeneralized there. But when you get them in like a supplement, pill, capsule, etc., I gotta stop saying etc. They tend to be dead already, so putting dead bacteria inside your tummy doesn't help you. And so you want them to be alive. Yeah, yogurts are really good probiotic, just because it's like natural cultures. Is it kimchi? Tends to be like a really good one, but I also know that's not the most readily available just thing around. I think you have to go to either certain stores for it. But yeah, you definitely want live cultures, and then you want to make sure that those particular bacteria or probiotics will survive the gut, because the gut's the most acidic thing in our body. It's actually really close to battery acid, if I'm not mistaken. So you want to make sure whatever you are taking, yeah, kombucha, that's what it is. You want to make sure whatever you're taking is going to survive that. And so just do a little bit of research. This is a little bit beyond my expertise, but I do know that a lot of supplements in general a lot of supplements just kind of in general are garbage, and you have to kind of do your due diligence. And creatine monohydrate, like we talked about the Monday, is a really good one. And then like your typical pre-workouts and your protein supplements, those are going to be generally fine because they kind of do what they're supposed to do. where like your pre-workout is going to give you a pump in some way, shape, or form, and then creatine, obviously creatine above all else, and then protein. Chances are they're going to have a good blend of what you want your branched chains amino acids to be. Most proteins have a good ratio for that, and then you want around 30 grams of protein per scoop. Sometimes they have like less than that, like some plant-based proteins will be less than that, and so you just want to make sure you're getting good protein per scoop. I also recently heard that there is some evidence to suggest that plant-based proteins have a higher concentration of lead. I don't know how big of a change that is or how dangerous that is, but I've heard there's some emerging evidence, so just be mindful of that, because those metals, heavy metals, tend to be kind of like forever chemicals, so they'll stay in your body and kind of accumulate, but I don't know how much of that is actually true versus like fear-mongering. So BCAAs, great question. What about them? They are beneficial in very select ways. So chances are you can probably get everything you need through food, just in general, with the exception of, I think, creatine. Not that I need to glaze creatine, but you know, take it. BCAAs can largely be a waste of money, to where you'll probably just piss them out. And if you're getting an adequate amount of protein, then you don't need BCAAs, because BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, come in your protein. Where it can be beneficial is there's evidence to suggest that it helps with DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, if you take a mid-workout supplement, which will tend to have BCAAs. So if you're sipping on something during a workout that has your branched chains aminos in it, then it can potentially help with DOMS, but that could be placebo, and you have to ask yourself, is that worth the price of an extra supplement? Yeah, supplements aren't regulated by the FDA. So, not that they're going to be filled with like arsenic and shit, but when they're being tested and they have like a higher concentration of metals and stuff like that, it's just stuff to be mindful of, right? I'm not saying you need to stay away from it or be completely scared from it, but just kind of do your thing. So I want to do push-ups. Am I going to do them right here? Yeah. Oh, that counts as one. Alright, and then we're doing curls. I want to do easy bar. What did we do? 25s last time? Let's do 35s. Like I said, we're feeling good today. I have all my collars. And I got a nice long break. Chatting with you guys. Pew. Alright, we're going to do 10 and 10. Oh, you guys see me? Can't. Let me do one real quick. Oh, close enough. I remember my first push-up, yeah. This is my first push-up. What are you talking shit about, bird? Is that better? Can I see any better? Is that too loud? Good enough. Cool. Alright, that felt better. Tighten the clips. Live, laugh, love. Hell yeah. clips. How about we just do dumbbell? So I don't think I can tighten those enough to stop the weight. That was quiet. Alright. People talking shit. Yeah, well, you said I like how quickly they do take time to adjust. They're not as fast as like your Bowflex, but they're also like a third of the price. So, and I actually have expensive NordicTrack dial ones over here, just off camera, and they broke. They got recalled. So these bad boys aren't going anywhere. All right. 9, 10. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. All right, that felt decent. How'd that look? Yeah. See if I can get better lighting. It's somewhere in there. Yeah. Oh. Well, Picklefoot, you said you were being serious. They do take time, but and I guess you're as fast as me. It's like a, NASCAR pit stop. Praise Dale and all. Here, one more set. And it's already an hour. We've been at this for a minute. How are we feeling? Feeling good, chat? We're not passing on any candy this year. We are going to a friend's house. We normally get like 10 trick-or-treaters. So, a friend is hosting a bonfire like at the same time, so we're going up there for the night. Yeah. Our first year here, we thought we were gonna get so many. We live next to a community center and we're like in town, right? And so we expected to get like a whole bunch. We went and bought a whole bunch of candy and everything like that. And we got, like a dozen trick-or-treaters. There's a lot of trunk-or-treats around us. So, and plus where we live, there's a lot of old people. So pretty much the only people that come here, I think, are like grandkids of our neighbors. And so we're not gonna do it this year. I feel bad because I kind of want to. We might put out a bowl or something like that. But I bought a bunch of booster packs from Pokemon. They're like 3-card packs. They're like reprinted versions of other cards of like spooky Pokemon, mostly ghost Pokemon. And then they have a little pumpkin icon on them. And so I might have a bunch from like 2 years ago. And I might put stuff in a bowl for them. They're called Trick or Trade booster packs. So, hell, with how expensive Pokemon cards are, they might actually enjoy that. The cards are like 10 cents each or some shit like that. If that. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom. along. Alright, push-ups. Oh, fucking raise hell. Praise Dale. Oh, okay. Give me a second. Oh. Are you actually carrying bees? I saw that in your Snap story. Or maybe you snapped me of it. Alright, give me a break. Alright, what's the consensus? Are we creating a quick workout program for the fighter class? So we're already 1 hour in the stream. Do we want to do that? I already ate dinner, so I don't need to rush inside to eat. But it's also 10 o'clock at night, so. Man. Praise Dale. That's cute. Trying to be a good neighbor. I did 20 reps for those push-ups for those who are counting. I just want that to be known. Cool. Always clean up your weights. Let's clean this up. I'll sometimes do this after I end the stream, but I always clean them up. How are we feeling? Yeah, but that one didn't count. You said I only did one. I was testing. It was a warm-up. I wanted to see if you guys could see me, which I think you could. So. How are we feeling? You do 19. Pickles, you can't count. Or I can't count. It's a very good chance that I didn't count right. All right. Wipe this off. All right. I think I can get you guys over here without causing too much of a ruckus. You can't read, but you can count. Ooh, it's like I'm an IRL streamer. Don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Alright. Now let me take this over here. You guys all jacked up. as high as you go. I think I might have to prop you up a little bit. I'm trying to make this quiet. Was that quiet? Pickle, what was that? Are those all singular bits? Singular bits? Yes, thank you for those. I don't know what they are, but oh, it's all right, dude. You don't have to give me any. Everybody else has to, though. Just kidding. Here's a perfect shot inside the nose, though. All right, I want to do this because I think this will be fun, and I'm kind of giving you guys a sneak peek of what some of our next resources are going to be. So we talked about program design yesterday, correct? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. And no, it wasn't. It was Monday. It was Monday. So we talked about program design, how I create programs, and like how I kind of create like a singular block or mesocycle. And one idea I had was kind of doing them in a thematic way by doing D&D classes. I mentioned this last week. And naturally, I think this would be fairly easy, so we can kind of gloss over this and kind of do things relatively quick without this turning into an hour-long lecture. But let's do your very typical first class you think of, fighter. All right. So when we're creating a program, we need to come up with your goals. Essentially, we need to do some type of needs analysis. So what are the goals of a fighter? You guys read over here? Maybe over here. You guys feel free to put it in the chat if you know. But essentially, they are a bit of, they're like all around athletic, right? So we'll just say kind of all around athlete, right? So they're kind of jack of all trades when it comes to physicality. They need to be fast, but also be able to run long distances, run/travel long distances. And then they need to be strong, right? Now, here's the thing. They are to win. Yes, fighters need to win. So they need to be fast, but not maybe as fast and nimble as like a rogue or a monk. They need to be able to travel long distances, but maybe not as long as, I don't know, like a barbarian. I know that's not quite exactly a metric or a mechanic in D&D. They need to be strong, but not quite as strong as like a barbarian. Oh, they don't need to run or travel as long as like a ranger. That's a good one. And so they need to be like a happy medium of all of these. And so we want a program to kind of reflect that. And so this is a good general all-around. It's a mosquito. General all-around. I don't know what that was. Kick ass. So with that, we need to have strength training. I'm not going to write this down because we'll get into that into the program. We need to have strength training. We need to have some form of moderate distance cardio, and we can implement sprints, but I think that can be negated because we need strength and a moderate distance of conditioning. So that was a cucumber. Cucumber in my foot. Oh, pickle foot. Oh, I see. All right, so for a fighter, let's say since they don't need to be like extremely strong, we can start off with a 3-day split. So we'll do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday we're going to do cardio, and I'll explain that afterward. And so typical 3-day split, we can do a push-pull legs split. I think that could be justified because it's a good, well-rounded gym split. You could do like an upper, lower, total body day. If you wanted to argue more like sports specific stuff, it could be 3 total body days. But if we're trying to go to the gym and do cardio, I think taking a step back and doing like a push-pull legs split would be good, which we have a 3-day push-pull leg split in here. That is levels 6 and 7, I believe. Yes, no, 5, 6, and 7. So we'll do level 5, week 1, day 1, push-pull legs. So day 1, push. And that will be bench. It will be shoulder press. Let's say overhead press. And that'll be dumbbell. So we'll do barbell bench, dumbbell overhead press. Thank you, Bird. And then we'll do incline, inch. We'll do incline bench. You can do barbell or dumbbell for that. If you're starting off, you can do dumbbell. Then we'll do skulls. And you can do 2 tricep workouts here, or 2 tricep exercises here, and then do 2 bicep exercises here for pull day, which is what's written in here. But if we wanted to do bis and tris here and bis and tris there, that is also acceptable. Would you say cardio, hold on, let me make sure I'm not. Yep. Would you say cardio is as important as weight training to be successfully, generally healthy? I know a lot of people that don't skip leg day, but do skip cardio. I'm going to put a pin in that until I finish push day. So we'll do skulls and then curls. I spelled curls wrong. And then we do want to do core. Normally when we do core, it's just going to be like 2 exercises circuited. So we'll do crunches and like a plank. And those will be, like I said, superset. And so we'll bis and tris. And then generally, like always, 3 by 10. When applicable, plank will probably be like 20 to 30 seconds if you're just starting off. If you're just starting off with plank, which is what we're going to do next week, probably, do 20 to 30 seconds. You can do them on your elbows. I prefer doing elbow planks, but then you could also drop to your knees. So you're doing knees and elbows and do lighter weight, and then everything 3 sets. So to answer your question, what's more important, cardio or strength training? And the answer is it depends what your weak area is. I will say, generally speaking, most people are probably cardio deficient because most people live sedentary lives. And so cardio health in a general sense is probably going to be more important for longevity purposes, for heart health meaning. But also most elderly people die from a fall, and huge correlation with fall risk is strength. And that's why when they do tests on old people, they'll do grip strength, and that'll kind of partially determine or have a direct correlation to their fall risk. That's because it's overgeneralized strength. And so both are important. Most people probably err away from cardio, so they probably have a weaker cardiovascular system, and so they could probably benefit from doing more cardio. So long story short, cardio is probably more important. So let's skip Tuesday and Thursday for now, and we'll do our workouts. So pull day. This again is assuming that we have a bench or have a gym. So we're doing lat pull down. We'll do regular grip, regular overhand grip. Do barbell bent over row. I did those Tuesday. Yeah, we did dumbbell, but barbell bent over rows there. And then we can do upright rows here. You can do that with dumbbell or barbell. We're just bringing them up here. I try not to go up any higher than elbow above shoulder or at shoulder, because when you come over here, again, it can cause extra stress on your shoulder, and you don't really need that. And then we'll do bis and tris again. So we'll do like overhead extension. And you know what, screw it, let's do push-ups. So we'll do diamond push-ups. Push up, and then curl. And you can swap which one you do first. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't really matter. Since they are antagonistic muscles, meaning they work opposite sides of the area, then you don't need to worry about which one goes first. Yes, fun fact, Coach Jordan did used to work with the elderly population to increase their bone density. It was a franchise called OsteoStrong. I would not recommend it. Oh, and then core. So we did crunches and planks. I like to do some kind of anti-movement. If we are a fighter, we want to maintain a steady core so that way we get pushed around less. And so I saw my watch going. And so I like doing anti-movement here, but we did crunches, which are upper core, and then we did planks, which again is kind of an anti-movement. So we want to do maybe flutter kicks, which is going to be working on more of your lower core. And then we would probably want to do some kind of oblique, so like a Russian twist. Russian twist? What do I have here? I did cross crunch, which is like the same thing. Russian twist, that's for leg day. Cool. And so, yeah. Oh, and these are supersetted, of course. So superset, and you can see how they mirror each other. Any planks that are really effective? Oh, are planks really effective? Yes, I think so. Some people argue they don't do a really good job building core muscles, or your abs, but you don't do a plank to build like core muscles to show. You do that to increase core stability. So yes, I would argue that they're effective, especially if you're a fighter trying to maintain a strong core while swinging a sword and shit. So next, leg day. I want to stand over here. We'll do squat. If you don't like squat, or if you haven't progressed to squat, leg press is really good. If I had one, and goblet squat, dumbbell squat, like what we did yesterday, are good alternatives. Romanian deadlift. Again, barbell, dumbbell, your preference. I like doing barbell because it makes me feel like a man. And then we can do leg extension, and then leg curl. I like doing those together, not necessarily supersetted because that's kind of a dick move, trying to steal two machines. What's my split, bro? I went through that earlier today, but I'll go through it here in a second. It's actually in this book. Bird will probably plug this in a second. And then calf raises. Oh, the reason why I like doing leg extension and leg curls, because again, they work opposite muscles. Leg extension is working your quads, leg curls are working your hamstrings. You can just pick one, or do something like a lunge, and that could kind of help replace those two. And calf raises. And then we can throw in some more core. We can do cross crunch, which is like a regressed version of a flutter or a Russian twist. And then like just regular leg raises. So kind of like a reverse flutter kick, but slower. So what is my split? I do a 4-day split. We're doing an upper lower split right now, where it's akin to power building, but I'm going a little bit easier, to where my big 4 bench squat, deadlift, overhead press, and then the accessories are going to be 3 by 10. That's what I'm doing right now. So that is your strength training for a fighter, 3-day push-pull leg split. Put that up here. PPL. PPL. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays we want to do cardio. And so without writing it down, we want to do some kind of mid-distance cardio. And what I like doing for that is, let's put it right here. Cardio. I like doing a couch to 5K. So that is, a couch to 5K training split is normally, ooh, that's a good question, Daniel. What are your thoughts on a full body every day? I will talk about that here in just a second. Yes. Normally a couch to 5K split is a 3-day split. So you can do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. but also not everybody wants to work out 6 days a week. You can double up on your push and pull day. I wouldn't necessarily want to run on your leg day, but you can. Again, ideal and realistic don't always match, so pick whatever fits your schedule best. As a fighter, you always have to be ready to take action. I would do a couch to 5K Tuesdays and Thursdays, take an 8-week program, stretch it out into 12 weeks by doing 2 days, so that way each week of the training program is taking you a week and a half. And guess what? I have one in here. I don't know what page it's on. I'm gonna get flustered trying to find it. But to answer your question, Daniel, what are my thoughts on full body? Oh, here it is. So, I don't need to say this anymore. So, here's the Couch to 5K training program. This is a pretty standard program. You can find these pretty much anywhere, but you can also find it for free in this ebook. And so, what are my thoughts on a full body training program? I think they're fine. I think they're really good for athletes who use their full body when they step into their field of play. I don't think a wrestler has ever said, all right, today I'm just going to today I'm going to get on the mat and only use my chest and triceps. And so I think for athletes it's really good because you can get a good 3-day split in with full body. And I also think it's great for people who have inconsistent workout schedules. So you can have a perfect 3-day push-pull leg split, but when you only go to the gym 2 days a week, you're constantly doing push and pull and skipping leg day. And so if you're able to do 2 days one week, 3 days the next week, 1 day the next week, I think doing 3 total body days is going to be your best bet because you're guaranteed to hit everything whenever you go to the gym. And so I'll do, starting off with our clients, if they're going to the gym, I'll normally do like a 2-day total body split. So 2 total body days, ideally with 1 or 2 days rest in between, because it allows for that flexibility. Did that answer your question? Full body every other day. I just read the second half of your question. That is, you found it way better than PPL rest repeat because it lowered the volume with higher frequency, and I'd go 3.5 times a week. Okay. So you mean like you're just alternating? So some days you're going 3, some days you're going 4, and you're hitting every single body, every single muscle group each day? Cool. Give me a second. I'm gonna grab a drink. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it. One could argue that giving yourself 1 day of rest in between always hitting your main muscle groups every other day could warrant that you might not allow yourself time to rest, but if it's working for you and you're giving yourself proper time to rest and proper nutrition, obviously, then I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Again, it's good because it allows flexibility. So if you're going every other day, you don't have to worry about missing a day or working out 3 days 1 week and 4 the next week. Plus you said you lowered your volume, so. How long were your workouts? Make sure that doesn't fall. Any questions on this? How are we feeling about that? Does that feel like a good fighter program? Without adding like HEMA into the mix? Which I have at least 2 clients doing HEMA, and it makes me really want to do it. It's historical European martial arts, I think is what it stands for. So like sword fighting and shit. I have one doing HEMA, and then the other one, I don't have him doing HEMA. He is doing HEMA, and another client is doing something similar to HEMA, but it's more focusing on like Viking stuff. He said that apparently there's like his Eastern European and Western European. I think his is more Western European, and my other clients is more Eastern European. Yeah, same here. That's why my workouts take, that's why it took me an hour to work out here. It takes me about an hour to do probably a 30 to 40 minute workout because I'm chatting with you lovely folks. And I like doing it. We've been chatting for an hour and a half, but half hour of it's been lecture. And that's good. Like if you like it and you're seeing good progress or good results with it, then I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think the push-pull leg split is superior to an alternating total body split every other day. especially since you enjoy it. Because if I were to tell you you need to do a PPL split and you tried it and you didn't like it as much because you're not getting a full body pump, then you probably wouldn't do it as often, and it wouldn't be as effective. So, yeah. I'll say personally, I probably wouldn't start a client on every other day total body. So 4 days 1 week, 3 days the next week. We would probably split it up into something consistent, 3 or 4 days a week, and either a PPL or an upper lower. Also, to caveat to that, another good 3-day split for people who have inconsistent schedules. This will be a good clip. If you have an inconsistent schedule and you can't guarantee to work out 3 days a week, I will also prescribe an upper lower total body day, because it allows you to split that 3-day split into a 2-day split or a 1-day split based on what your schedule looks like. So you have upper lower total, or 2-day split of upper lower, or a 1-day split of a total body day. And so it allows for a lot of a lot of freedom, a lot of flexibility and a lot of freedom within those 3 particular workouts to allow for a 1-day, 2-day, and 3-day split. So that is where I tend to go when we are programming a 3-day split for somebody with an inconsistent schedule. What would you recommend to someone struggling to get enough protein? And how many times do we get that question a day? So let's say, hypothetically speaking, you're trying to eat more protein, you're not entirely sure what or how to do that. My go-to answer is something fast and convenient, like a protein bar, like a protein shake. Those pre-made protein shakes are great. Yogurt of all types, I think, are great. I really like the Oikos high protein yogurt. It's like 23 grams of protein per serving, I think. That's what I use for my morning oats. But something quick and easy. Something quick and easy. You don't have to cook a chicken breast to have for your morning and for your breakfast. You can just pick something that's going to be grab and go. Most people struggle with protein because they don't eat breakfast. And so me telling them they need to cook 3 eggs, sausage, and chicken or whatever isn't ideal. And so doing something that you can eat and drink on the way to work is going to be a good place to start. So if you do a protein bar and a protein shake, like one of those pre-made like Pure Protein or Premier Protein brands, you can get 50 grams of protein in a bar and a shake, which you can consume while driving to work or at your desk. And so that's where I tend to turn people towards. I also say when you eat dinner, just double the amount of protein that you're eating. So like if you're eating a dinner that's like a meatloaf, for example, double up that meatloaf. Or if you're having something with chicken, meatballs, etc., just double the amount of meat that you're eating there. And those are some quick and easy ways to kind of hack your protein without feeling like you're constantly eating a bunch. What are my PRs? In my big 4, bench, squat, deadlift, overhead press. It's been a really long time since I maxed out. I recently lost like 50 pounds, just under 50 pounds, and so my strength has diminished, which is actually why I'm starting my workouts. I started streaming these workouts because I'm starting a new training arc. I'm trying to be a Hashira. But my PRs, all-time PRs, bench 385, which is the only one I'm actually good at. Squat was like 485, I think, because that's all the weight I have. Depth was questionable. Deadlift, I think the same, but I have it on a trap bar. Again, does that count? Does that not count? It's my garage, my rules. And then overhead press, I don't think I've done a 1-rep PR, but I think I've done, it was either 225 or 235 for 3. I want to say, let's say conservatively 225 for 3. So those are those are like my all-time numbers. That was also when I was like 270 pounds. There's videos on my Instagram of me like hitting my at least my max bench, and let's just say I'm a lot leaner now. So yes, any questions? Class, this will be on the quiz, so take notes, write this down. Don't just take a picture of it because you're not going to remember it. Write it down. When you write it down, you commit it to memory. Thank you. We lost some muscle, but we're building it back up. Yeah, we are. It's not as good to flex anymore. But I think that was good. It's an hour and a half. That was a pretty good stream. We as in me, myself, and I, are going to call it a night. If you want this book, if you want workouts that are in there like this, not quite a fighter program, but just like a 3-day PPL split, and the 4-day upper lower split that I'm doing, all of that is in here in the 1-year beginner's handbook. The Couch to Gym Rat training program is the 12-month training program that starts you off with body weight and goes all the way up until intermediate power building workouts, 4-day split in there. There's a whole lot of other stuff in there, the cooking and shopping guide, 40 high protein recipes to play with, sleep guide, the Couch to 5K is in there, and proper ways to learn how to meal prep, an example meal plan with an example shopping list, and I think that's it. Anyway, 330 pages of just pure girthiness, all for free. All you gotta do is join the Discord, which is also free. I just want this information to get out, and feel free to spread the word. Yeah, the sleep guide, see if I can find it. It's meant to help you prime your body for sleep and prime your sleep environment. You being on the go, see here it is, how to get a long rest. So the ebook is going to be not amazing because all it is just a culmination of all the ebooks together, and so the page numbers are all wonky in this, but the sleep guide is towards the end. And it's meant to help prime your body for sleep and prime your sleep environment for sleep. With you being a truck driver, that might help you, and you may learn some tidbits from it. There's also a rule of 4 in there, which I really like. So, quick TLDR. See you, man. You have a good night. I appreciate you stopping by. So, last note. The rule of 4 for sleep are 4 hours before bed, stop all work. That's emails, that's whatever else you do for work, stop. Keeps your brain in work mode, and it keeps you awake, and it keeps the brain still wired. So close the laptop, close all work, ideally stop driving, and call it a quit, call it a night. 3 hours before bed, stop eating, because a big meal can, when you're digesting, can really screw up your sleep. And so 3 hours before bed, stop eating. If you are feeling peckish, you can have a light snack, ideally with something like fruit and maybe like a protein bar. 2 hours before bed, stop drinking, because nobody likes getting up at night to take a piss. And 1 hour before bed, cut all screens, which is by far the hardest step out of the 4. So ideally, 1 hour before bed, you're doing something like reading a physical book, journaling, doing a brain dump, something without the blue light screens. Blue light blockers, blue light glasses still don't block 100%. And that can keep your brain thinking that it's daylight out. And so, I also fully understand that there's no way in hell most people are going to be able to turn off their screen, all screens 1 hour before bed. So start like 10 minutes before bed. 10 minutes before bed, turning off the TV, turning off your phone, or putting your phone away, and just read, just journal. I like writing before bed. I'm writing just like a random book idea that I have, just kind of getting my mind away from work, and it allows me to kind of just word vomit. And so that could be a really good and easy way to stay away from screens. Also reading, like just reading in general, will really help calm you down. And so just try to, like I said, start 10 minutes before bed, and then kind of slowly move that needle, 10 minutes to 15 to 20, 25. And so, yeah, just kind of go from there. Yes, so don't work until 4 a.m. Bird has not the greatest sleep schedule. She's like a cat. All right, any questions before we hop off, gang? This was fun. This was a little bit longer than I expected, but we got some good conversation out of it, and I feel like there was some good dialogue. So if this is the type of shit that you guys like, then we can do more of this. No problem. No problem, Picklefoot. Thank you for being such a great attendee. And I'm going to leave you to it. I have some Pokemon Legends ZA to play, and I am really enjoying it so far. So I am rank D. I just hit rank D last night, so I'm going to see what other troubles I can get into. So So if you need anything else from me, shoot me a message, drop me a follow on all of my socials, primarily Instagram, TikTok. No, not TikTok. Fuck TikTok. Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and then join our Discord. Those are our main 4 platforms. And if you have any questions, you can shoot me a message on any of those platforms, and I will get to you as soon as possible. You all have a fantastic night, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. I'll be doing my 4th workout, and that'll be it for the week. But I'll catch you tomorrow, same time, same place. Peace out, gang.